It's August 29th, 2011. This YouTube is directed to the federal court in Kansas City, Missouri, to the Bar Association in Kansas City, Missouri, and to the Judicial Review groups in Kansas City, Missouri, and to Judge Orty Smith due to the frequency of cases that he reviewed. My name is Vicki Huffnagel, and I'm here part of the Ethical Times. This is a reporting of news. Many years ago, when the cases first started happening with Novastar, the judges in the federal court dismissed them. The attitude and the writings were such that there was going to be no ability for proof to be given as to any crimes being committed. Therefore, if there was going to be no ability to provide proof, why have a hearing at all? You just dismiss them. That went on for several years, and looking back at the court records, that the judges simply thought, by their own understanding of the law and by their understanding of the world of finance and banking, that there'd be no ability for proof. They were just not aware of the many crimes that had developed over the years, and their concept of bank crimes had not widened. They were uneducated, they were ignorant, and they were also in a time lapse situation where they were thinking about banks of the past, practices of the past, what was going on in the past when they made these rulings. Well, time passed and more cases were heard, and the cases were different though. These were more cases on Novastar in which the people who bought stock in Novastar were angry. They had read about all the billions of dollars of profit that Novastar had made, and where was theirs? Where were their dividends? Where were their earnings? Where was their money from all of these billions of dollars? Where were the billions of dollars going? Who was getting it? You see, the stockholders weren't getting their money. Now, these are people who are wealthy enough to invest, so they're wealthy enough to hire attorneys, and they did. And legal cases were heard in the federal court in Missouri, Orty Smith, one of the judges, and evidence came forth that their practices were not just simply shoddy or lacking clerical consistency. The problems were not minor. You see, the problems were very much criminal. And the judges in the Missouri courts heard these, and it was such a mess. And how long to stay in court, how much money to be on these cases, who's going to get what, that the concept of settlement was a big idea. Not to fight these out for 10 or 15 years, and to actually just work towards settling and getting these cases out of the court. Something fair for both sides. So settlements occurred. 5 million here, 3 million there, 8 million here. You see, the investors of the stock, they were getting something back. They had sued, they brought the cases, and the evidence in the court was really pointing to the fact that bank crimes were taking place. And this was a transition over a short period of time, just several years. And the judges were becoming more alert as to what a bank crime was. Well, the settlements happened. The judges heard the evidence and knew that there were bank crimes. But the people who had the loans, still today, the majority of them have no idea any of this has taken place. They don't know about the bank crimes. They don't know what crimes were done so that they would lose their home, lose their savings, have a lot of destruction and damage in their lives. So I'm asking all of the judges in the federal Missouri court to go back over their files and look for these crimes. One ethical issue for judges is that if you have a crime, they're certainly working on a lawsuit and a settlement for an issue of monetary value. But that's not the issue of the criminal crime to all the borrowers across the nation. It's not the issue. It's not really focusing on the major issue of the economic destruction of our society today. It was giving money to the stockholders. It's an issue, certainly. They had the money to fight for it. But what about the homeowner who still doesn't know that their loan was stolen? Who still doesn't know that the wild yield spread issue was used on them to take everything from them? They were lied to, and lied to. And judges, I believe it is up to you to go back and look at all of these cases and to report them to enforcement. I'm sure you didn't think about it at the time because you're just trying to deal with the case and get to the settlement. But it's a bigger issue. You had crimes in your court that needed to be reported to the Attorney General's office, needed to be reported to the National Bank Associations, needed to be reported to the FBI. What do you do now? It's an idea. It certainly wouldn't hurt anything. Novastar has already had its settlements, already shifted its guns in different ways. And what could happen? Well, maybe some people could get their homes back. Maybe we could prevent this from happening in the future. But what really needs to happen also is we need you, the judges, to tell us, the people, to tell the enforcement what the crimes were. Today in Los Angeles County, the financial division of the police department has no concept whatsoever of what a financial crime is when it concerns a loan, a mortgage, home loan. They have no idea. They need to be educated. I'm appealing to you to get together and create teaching systems so that enforcement can know what are these financial crimes, what took place. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the news making announcements about the crimes. What were they? What did you hear? What moved you? How do we help others? Thank you.